All right, a video on force fields. So here's all my, objects. I got player, enemy, force field, enemy laser, and object control. My player doesn't even shoot right now. If I'll show you real quick what it's going to look like. Basic concept is my player can dodge bullets, but if you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, it says force field ready. So if I hit the F key, the force field will pop up, and you can see that that's actually got a little timer on it that we can see that it's going to run out. And when it runs out, it still has a cooldown. So I can't spawn it again. And so eventually when that cooldown runs out, then I'll be able to spawn it again. And when I can spawn it again, the thing can eat some bullets for me. And that's pretty much it. And if I don't have a force field, obviously I can die and I don't get an error. So let's talk about how we did all this for a moment. So first of all, we'll just kind of go one by one here. We'll go into object player and we'll talk about the force field code for a moment. So this is just a Boolean, global cooldown equals false. So that'll keep me from spawning more than one force field at the same time. Okay. Alarm 1 also sets global cooldown to false. And that just means it's going to reset and it's going to be ready to go again. And the step function down here just sets a force field equal to keyboard check, press F, and then if force field and global cooldown, maybe I make this a little bigger. If force field and not global cooldown, then instance create a force field and then set global cooldown to true. So this is what keeps it from repeating. Anytime you have a step function and you have something happening in here, you can use a Boolean control right here, not go global cooldown, and then setting global cooldown to true so that it doesn't continue to be able to be created over and over and over again. All right, so that's that piece with the player. Let's go out of the player. Let's take a look at probably object force field next, probably. So again, this creation is just a matter of this is just the transparency that we worked on. And then down here, it just says HP is equal to 10 and alarm 0 is equal to 15. Well, that's only half a second. So I think we have the force field lasting 5 seconds. So basically, we're going to take 1 HP away every half of a second. That's going to be a force field lasting 5 seconds if, of course, you have default frame rate. So what's alarm 0 do? Alarm 0 says if HP is bigger than 0, take 1 away from HP and then reset the alarm to half of a second again. Else, what this does is it sets the cooldown timer on. Now notice with the dot notation, it's object player dot alarm 1 equals 300. This is the one that set global dot force field back to being false again. And then we just destroy the force field. So this is the cooldown time, and then this is destroying the force field. And this is just the continuous loop until we run out of HP. So again, this is on a timer. Force field is going to last about 5 seconds. We did HP, and we'll see if we got anything else. The only thing else we really got in step function is we say if instance exists object player, then follow him. So X maps to his player's X. Else, we're going to destroy the force field if the player gets killed. All right. Just real quick here in the laser, you can just see that in the step function that the bullets destroy if they get out of the room, and the bullets destroy if they hit the force field. And then let's take a look at object control because it's what draws the stuff in here. So this again says don't draw this unless the instance exists object force field. But then it talks about drawing a health bar. And what does it use? It uses object force field's HP, but it multiplies it by 10. Because again, I've got this thing 100, 800 to 900. These are the two X values. I've got it 100 wide. So since my HP was only 10, I multiplied object force field's HP by 10, so it would be out of 100. This is just a matter of what color it's going to be and which direction it's coming from. Then we also say if global.cooldown is false, and then we go ahead and redraw the text force field ready. Otherwise, we draw the thing cooldown. So this is what puts the messages on the screen that we saw a minute ago. And that is pretty much it. I don't think we missed anything. But again, we hit the button, global cooldown turns true. That way we can't spawn another force field one way, shape, form, or another. After 10 seconds, those alarms that continually go off bring HP down to 0. And then when that happens, the force field gets destroyed. And then it sets the player's alarm 1, which the player's alarm 1, all it does, just to remind you, the player's alarm 1 resets the ability to spawn a force field. So when that gets reset, And the message also changed that we looked at in the draw function. So the message also changes based on whether global cooldown is true or false. And you're ready to roll. Thanks.